So let's talk a little bit about special applications of percents. So, one special application that we have is talking about discounted prices. So, remember that our general formula for percent proportions is part over base is equal to the rate over 100. Okay. So, a new concept that we need to consider here, okay, is that the net price, uh, let's do this. Okay. So the net price of any item is equal to the list or original price minus the discount amount. And this is very crucial, the discount amount. So if we are, let's say that we're trying to find the net price or the sales price, is another way to think about this. And we're trying to find that. And uh, we're saying that we're taking, say, 20% off. Well, we're not subtracting 20 from the original price. We're subtracting 20%, which is the discount amount. So keep in mind a rule of addition and subtraction. We can only add and subtract things that have the same name. So you cannot subtract directly 20% from, say, $100. Instead, what you would need to do is find 20% of $100 and then subtract that dollar amount from the $100. Okay. So when we are considering part and base and rate and 100, we can also consider that the part is the discount amount and the base is the list price. And we still have the rate, but now we're going to call this the discount rate. And it's still over 100. So we're still dealing with the same formula. Nothing has changed. Okay? Absolutely nothing has changed. So if we think about this in this way, let's consider this. Let's consider that. Let's consider that we are told that the list price. So we're going to do an example here. So we're told that the list price of an item is $18.50. And we are told that the sale, so the sale that's going on is 20% off. Okay? So we don't know, because then we're looking for what is the net price? Well, first thing that we need to do is find the discount amount. And we're told that the list price is $18.50. And we're told that the sale is 20% off. Okay. So then that gives us 100D equal to 370. And D, or the discount amount, is $3.70. So in order to find our net price, and I'm just going to abbreviate here, we take our original price and subtract the discount amount, and that gives us the net price or the sale price with our discount of $14.80. Okay. So something else that we can do is there's kind of another way of doing this that we can bypass this equation right here. Okay. Well, if an item is on sale for 20% off, that means that this amount right here is 80% of the original or list price. Okay. So that means that we could look at this, that we could have a formula that says net price over list price is equal to 100 minus the discount rate over 100. Okay. So using the same, and I'm going to switch up colors here, because we're going to use the exact same numbers. Okay. So we're still going to use this, that we have a list price of $18.50. The sale is 20% off. We're looking for the net price. So we're looking for net price, right? Well, we know that our list price is 18.50, and 100 minus our discount rate over 100. Well, remember, we just said this right here is the same as 80, right? So now we can say that 100 times our net price is equal to 80 times the 1850, which gives us 1480, and divide both sides by 100, we get that our net price is still 1480. Okay. Now, when you are doing these homework problems, some of the homework problems may ask you specifically for, find the discount amount. When it says find the discount amount, you do need to do the first set of instructions that we went through. But if it says just find the sales price or the net price, well, you could either do the first way that we did it, or kind of condense things up a little bit and decide to do it times the 100 minus the discount rate. It's completely up to you, unless, like I said, the question specifically asks you for a particular technique. Then you do want to follow that technique so that you make sure that you're answering exactly what the question is asking. And you are not, you're not missing steps. All right. So let's get into another practical form of special percents here. And this is sales tax. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about sales tax. Well, with sales tax, okay, we have the sales tax amount, and that's over the list price. And that's going to be equal to the tax rate over 100. So if you notice, all of these percent problems are exactly the same. It is the same formula, the same process. We just have different names for things based on the application that we see in front of us. Okay. So let's say that, let's do this example. Okay. So we are buying an item that has a tax rate of 7.75%. And the list price is equal to $76.50. So we want to find the total cost. Now, with sales tax, okay, and this is where we need to kind of think a little bit about what's happening here, okay? Because when we are adding tax, okay, the total cost is equal to the list price plus the sales tax amount. Okay. So again, we're going to look at two ways of doing this. All right. So the first way is using this total cost is equal to list price plus sales tax amount. So first thing that we need to do is find the sales tax amount, because that's the one thing that we don't know. We know that the list price is $76.50. We know that the tax rate is 7.75. Okay. So that means that 100 times our sales tax amount is equal to, and we'll keep these decimals out. So 592.875. And what I mean by that, we're not going to round off for money just yet. Okay. But when we complete that, we get that the sales tax amount is equal to $5.93. Now, to get the total cost, we're going to take our list price and add the $5.93. And to that, we get $82.43. Okay. But what if we wanted to do that shortcut? Well, the total cost over the list price will be equal to 100 plus the tax rate over 100. So in our example here, we're looking for total cost. We know that our list price is $76.50. We add 7.75 to the 100, so 107.75 over 100. This gives us 100 times the total cost is going to be equal to, and I don't have that worked out, so we're just going to do this. 76.5 times 107.75. And when we divide both sides by 100, we get that the total cost is going to be $82.43. So exactly what we got the first time is what we're getting the second time. So again, you can do whichever one you want to. It is completely up to you. All right. but do make sure that you're answering the question that's being asked. So, something else that we encounter is efficiency. Did I spell that correct? Nope, I dropped an E. Let's try that again. I can teach math with the best of them, but ask me to spell and the the train goes off the tracks here. EFFI. Oh, I have to find my pen now. Where's my pen on the screen? Nope, I don't want it down there. I apologize. Sometimes this happens with technology. C IENCY. Okay, efficiency. There we go. All right. So when we're talking about efficiency, we have output over input is equal to the efficiency over 100. So let's say that we have, let's do an example here. So we have some engine that is rated at 175 horsepower. Okay. And we find that it delivers 140 horsepower to the transmission. So the question is, what is the efficiency of this engine? Okay. Well, the output, what the engine is delivering, what it's putting out to the transmission, is 140 horsepower. The input is 175, and we're looking for the efficiency. Okay. So that gives us 175. So you notice now we're doing the same process that we have been doing. Okay. And so that gives us that the efficiency is approximately 80%. So this is the same process over and over and over again. And I will do one more example here because I feel like this is one that really trips up students. So when we are looking at percent increase or percent decrease. Okay. So when we are looking at these two concepts, all right, when we are doing these, our formula needs to be increase or decrease amount over original is equal to percent increase or decrease over 100. So again, it is the same exact process as what we have been seeing over and over and over again. Okay. So it is part over whole is equal to percent rate over 100. Same thing as we've been doing repeatedly. Okay. So, one thing that I see people kind of having difficulty with is when we are told, let's say that we have an item that originally sells for $92. Okay. So it is on sale for $70. So what is the percent discount? Okay. Now, I'm going to put this off in a box and I'm going to say no. Don't do this. Do not do. Do not do that. 70 is the sales price. It is not the amount that the price has decreased. Okay? So to find, first of all, the decrease amount, we need to do 92 minus 70, which will give us 22. Now, you do 22 over 92 is equal to R over 100. Okay. Now, when we put this in our calculator, we're going to do 22 times 100, then take that and divide that by 92. And we get a pretty decent decimal, but we get that R is approximately, and these squiggly lines mean approximately, is approximately 24%. Okay. That is the discount percent. Now, if you do it this way, okay, so if you do this, then you must include 100 minus R to find, I cannot, to find the discount percent. Okay. So just keep in mind, if you do choose to do what I'm saying not to, and I think doing the 70 over 92, I think it adds an extra step that you really don't need. If you will just do that subtraction to begin with, find the amount of increase or decrease, and use that value in your percent proportion. As always, I encourage you to reach out with any questions. Please let me know. I'm here to help.